I'm starting this pattern for the pocket size-wise by looking at what the typical size on jeans are. So I've just gathered that information. Now I'm putting it all out and sizing up what sort of picture or whatever I'm going to put in the middle. So what I want is right in between these two faint lines I've just done in the middle. And then on the outsides here, I'm doing the 1/2 inch seam allowance, so you can turn the sides over and fold them to get the pocket nice and square. So the sections with all of the diagonal lines on them mean they are for the seam allowances and for the folding over, especially at the top of the pocket. So my design has to fit inside of these lines. Now I'm just going to have a go at seeing if I can draft out the kind of design I want, and I know that the basic shapes I want in my head, and I need to make that all symmetrical now by measuring it out. Now is the time where I'm going to cut around all of the lines that I did with a razor blade. And to make this piece of paper stronger, because it's only just drawing paper, I'm going to put sticky tape all over the backs of them so that once I do finally cut out these strips, that they will have strength and last me hopefully a long time. So here's the final result, which I'm going to end up placing on the pocket pieces to then trace around the shapes. These little arms that I'm folding back, I thought maybe I could leave them on and then trace them section by section. So fold them back out and then retrace when I needed to add them. But at the end of the day, I ended up cutting them off the pattern piece because it was just easier to then use the width of the sewing foot and use that to mark out the extra distance I wanted to make for these little strippy bits, basically. So unfortunately I failed to show the part where I did get my chalk and chalk in on the lines. So yeah, I just put the pattern piece down and then without it moving, I did pin it onto the pocket to hold it still. Then I just grabbed my piece of chalk with a sharp edge and then basically marked around all of these lines so that when I took the pattern piece off, the chalk lines were left on and I knew where to sew my lines. As you can see, there are some white lines still on the material where I made my lines. Final result, they don't stand out much, I guess, because of the pattern on my jeans themselves, but I used top stitching thread to do all of this, so it does stand out. In the future, I might play around with different colors so they do stand out even more.